Okay, Holly, we can see it now, so we're going to get started. Good morning, and thank you for attending the October edition of the Acumen webinar series. My name is Nick Nabosny, and I'm the VP of Account Management here at Acumen. With me today is your account management team from Acumen, Jennifer McGraw and Max Munns, along with Holly Singer, the Customer Success Manager from Swissnet, our longtime trusted hosting provider. This month, as you know, will be focused on hosting, and our aim is to provide a deeper understanding of the benefits of having a private cloud server on Swissnet. I'll hand the reins over to Holly in just a moment, and she'll explain a bit more about hosting and then take us for a quick tour of the Swissnet environment. Please note that all webinar attendees will be in listen-only mode during this webinar. We'll have time for a Q&A at the end of the session, and if you'd like to ask a question, please feel free to use the chat window at any time. We're going to continue to monitor this throughout the presentation. Over to you, Holly.
Thank you, Nick. I really appreciate you allowing us to join you today and introduce our Swissnet hosting for the Sage 300 ERP. So I will go ahead and just dive right in and kind of go through what we want to go through is basically the hidden costs of your on-prem server versus a cloud-hosted server. So if you're thinking of buying a new on-prem server to handle those ever-rising resource requirements of your applications, it's not just really a one-time cost. It's kind of, you do get a little bit hit with costs over time as well. So it's not just the upfront cost of the server and the licensing. It does go a little bit deeper than that. So let's go through that. So you do have your upfront costs again, you know, your hefty setup fees for IT to get everything set up, licensing, and again, server fees, hardware fees as well. So then you also have those ongoing costs, again, to have your IT guys or an in-house IT person, you know, keep everything going, make sure everything's up 24/7 for you, everything's backed up, you know, all of that kind of stuff as well. And then it kind of gives you a little bit of limited feature if you don't have quality and support tools that you need to be able to access from anywhere, or just, again, make sure everything's backed up and always available. You know, it just kind of leads to unnecessary IT headaches. So let's kind of go through each individual one. The upfront costs, again, licensing fees. If you're thinking, there's a few things that a lot of people don't think about. Not only do you have just the Sage fees, but you're going to have your Microsoft operating system. You're going to have, if you're trying to use things remotely, you're going to have, you know, remote desktop licenses, RDS CALs, those kind of things. Really have to, you know, some people use Citrix. You know, there's a bunch of different things that are out there for remote desktop, but you're going to have all those licensing fees as well. Definitely hefty setup fees from your IT guys or IT company that you guys have to get everything set up and run. And you know, it usually takes kind of a long time for, you know, those to get those things all set up on-prem and running with, you know, testing remotely and, you know, from the office and all that other kind of stuff as well. The ongoing costs are going to, that you need to consider. Are you having someone monitor your server for, you know, performance? Also make sure that, like I said, everything's backed up. What happens if, you know, you guys have some sort of natural disaster, a hurricane, a tornado, an earthquake, any of those kind of things? What's going to happen to your servers? Are they going to be available if that happens? You know, how do you ensure to make sure that you know, you guys don't lose any access to your you know, sensitive applications as well. The support to keep that going, make sure your backups run all the time, make sure you're fully redundant, or, you know, just everything's running okay. That kind of maintenance can run you up to $175 an hour. So those are definitely some ongoing costs that you really want to take a look at and dive deep into. A lot of the features that are not included in on-prem service or IT, 24/7, 365 support. Is your tech guys going to be available every, you know, waking moment of the day, or even non-waking moment of the day? Again, are they going to do that real-time monitoring for you to make sure everything is always up and running, not just come in the morning and go, oh my God, the server's down, what's going on? And then you have to call tech and wait for them to call you back. And, you know, all that kind of stuff. Are they they double checking and making sure that you know, those backups are automated. You have the snapshots of your server just in case anything happens. Again, are they giving you that anytime, anywhere access? And then, are those IT guys providing you to make sure that you are PCI compliant? Are they SOC compliant? Do they have HIPAA compliance if you need that as well? So those compliance, you know, things and security just are pretty important to make sure that, you know, everything that you guys have is completely secure. So we did a cost comparison, and you know, everybody's numbers varies, but this was just kind of a something that we threw together for a 5-year, something that we were looking at 5 years savings of hosting versus on-site deployment, because about every 5 years you're going to have to redeploy or purchase new hardware on-prem server to keep up with that ever growing application resources as well. So we did 5-year savings for 15 users, 100 gigs of data for Sage 300. And again, these are not you know, hard numbers. Everything can change based on your needs. So you know, obviously with the hosting costs there, we do have a couple other additional costs that you wouldn't pay on-prem. Monthly user fees and storage fees, but that might be considered, you know, licensing fees for you guys. So even if you take into consideration the, you know, $750 or whatever it is for those two per month, it would be a lot different on some of those licensing fees that you guys have if you look on the right over there. So, you know, our RDS and app delivery licensing is all included in our monthly fees. Again, you're going to have to pay for that separate. The server costs, you know, that we have a monthly fee where we amortize it over a month rather than, you know, having you have to come up with that, you know, $20,000 for an on-prem server right there. We have a low monthly setup cost as opposed to maybe setup costs that your IT guys or IT company might be charging you. Again, there's a lot of things that we include in our service that might be additional from your IT company or on-prem IT guy. The license maintenance, the antivirus. With every server, we do dual firewalls. We have antivirus, anti-malware, and anti-ransomware installed on every server to make sure that you guys are completely secure. Again, we do those nightly snapshots. We have PCI compliance if you're processing credit cards. You are required by the credit card companies or, you know, the big Visa, MasterCard, American Express to be compliant, to make sure that you keep everybody's credit card numbers secure. So it helps you with that as well. We do cloud backups, redundant between different data centers as well. Maintenance costs, all of our support costs are included in our monthly fee as well. And again, that 24/7 tech support. Can you call in the middle of the night and get a call back within an hour or two? So our first year costs are lower, are maybe every year cost maybe a little bit higher, but if you kind of take that and spread it over 5 years, you're saving around $30,000 for that 5-year period. So definitely a cost savings to go with cloud hosting rather than having your on-prem server. So that's just a little bit of a taste there for the savings that you can have for cloud hosting. So the additional features that you have by going to the cloud, we do, and Swissnet, we do give you control at your fingertips. We definitely make sure that Acumen has access to your server to be able to do any of those, you know, deployments or changes or, you know, updates or any of those kind of things. But we also give you guys admin control to your server as well. The enterprise technology, again, all of the antivirus firewalls, RDS, remote desktop connection, any of that kind of stuff, those are all included as well. We do deploy via either Azure or Google, and we can definitely help determine which is going to be best for you. We do flexible customized solutions for every client because no two clients are the same. And again, we don't have any surprise IT costs because our support is included. Our support, again, is available 24/7. We are very obsessive about our support and customer service. We want to make sure that every client experience is completely seamless. You don't have to worry about it. You just, you know, come in the morning or jump on whenever you need to from either the office or offsite if needed. Again, we do that real-time monitoring of your server to make sure it's always up and running as best as possible. Again, that all just kind of lead to zero IT headaches for you. And again, some of those enterprise-grade security things, I did go over quite a few of them. We do those backups for you every night. We do keep those backups off-site as well. We do keep them for 30 days, just in case. We also do server snapshots every night as well and keep those off-site for 7 days, just in case anything happened to your server. We can spin another one up, restore those snapshots and backups, and have you up and running in a couple days with our standard option. With our Platinum option, you can be deployed in 2 different data center regions, so that if anything were to happen in one complete region to all the data centers in that region, because each Google and Azure both have regions where you're redundant. So if that entire region went down, if you had the Platinum option, you would be back up and running within 2 to 6 hours, because we could just switch over and have you available within the secondary data center region. We do provide, for both standard and platinum, uptime guarantee of 99.95%. I am happy to say I've been with the company 8 years, and in the last 8 years, I've personally only seen, I don't know, maybe 4 downtimes in 20 minutes at the most, maybe 30. So, you know, our uptime percentage is really good. Obviously, we strive to have 100% all the time. But every once in a while we have just a little bit of a blip, but we do get you guys back up and running as soon as possible. We do offer Office 365 for your servers, so if you are going to want to export to Excel, Word, Outlook, use PowerPoint or Access or any of those kind of things on the server, you do have to have an Office 365 subscription in order to do that. Whether you purchase it from us or already have it through a provider, that's fine. But it does need to be an enterprise level Office 365 subscription in order to use it in our terminal server cloud hosting environment. And those type of plans are either going to be Pro Plus or E3. The Business Premium will not activate in our terminal server environment, but you can always upgrade to one of these options. Again, either through us or through your current Microsoft provider. It doesn't have to be us. You can bring your own licensing, but we do have that available as well. So let's take a look and see what it looks like, how you would use Sage 300 within our environment. Now we have 3 different ways that you can get connected to the Sage server. The first one, if you're on the go and you just want to jump on, you don't want to download any clients or set up any desktop app or any of that kind of stuff, you can just go to our HTML5 site, and that's signin.swissnet.com. Log in with your login details, and it will bring you into a remote desktop look and feel. You are tied to this web page window, but you do have the ability to do everything that you normally would in your desktop application. And I have the older version. I apologize. We need to get our updated versions installed. But everything that you guys are normally used to having and doing, you would be able to. Printing takes a little bit, couple extra steps just because you didn't download anything, but you do have the availability to print via a cloud printer. Saving locally, same thing. You can use this little cloud drive to move files back and forth as needed as well. So those things everything's completely available through this HTML5 access. There are a couple extra steps, but you definitely do have the ability to do everything that you're used to. Let's go ahead and get out of this one. Now there are the 2 other ways. We do have remote desktop look and feel like you just saw on the HTML5 access, or we do have published app look and feel, which is going to give you that look and feel of it running on your own computer. With the app services, you can even put an icon right on your desktop, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But so once you download and install the Cloud Workspace driver on your PC, this is a Windows PC, for Macs or iOS, or mobile devices for Android or iOS operating systems, you guys can use the Microsoft Remote Desktop application to get set up. But for PCs, you can always get these icons once you download and install that client. Once we do that, if you click Connect, it will bring you right into a remote desktop look and feel. We'll let it launch real quick. So again, you are tied to that remote desktop window. If you wanted to get back to your local desktop, you would have to minimize and go back and forth that way. But with this, you will have the ability to print directly to any printer that you have connected to the device that you're logged in from. You can save locally to any device that you have mapped on your local PC. So if you have map drives to your servers or any of those kind of things, you can definitely save there as well. Again, you can print, you can do anything, whatever you guys have in your software active, you'll have access to all of that. And again, it can be on a Mac PC, iPads, tablets, any mobile device. You can get that all set up. Show you the File Explorer here to show you. So this is the shared cloud drive that you have that you guys can share between all of your employees. And then this is my local drive here. And then if you had any other mapped drive, you would see them there as well, or as well on this left-hand side. So again, you can definitely have these will come mapped automatically for you, so you can do that and save directly. We do also have the ability to map OneDrive space. So if you guys are using the Office 365 OneDrive, we can get that mapped for you as well. So that's an extra little thing that's awesome to be able to save to your OneDrive if you guys use that on a normal basis for your company. And again, the app services, once you download and install that client, if you just connect with your sign in there, the first time that you sign in, you're going to see a list of all the applications that are available. But if you want to create a desktop shortcut, just make sure that little checkbox is checked. Once you do that, it's going to put a little folder right here on your desktop. This will have your company name on it. This will also have all the applications that you have access to within SWISNet. And you can just pick and choose or send all of them right to your desktop so that they're always there and available when you come in the morning or you know, after lunch or any of those kind of things. If you just want to double click on your Sage and get access to it, this again is going to give you that look and feel of it running on your own computer. You can run on multiple monitors. You can run side by side with local applications as well. And again, with this one, all of the printing, saving locally, and all that is also available that you're used to as well. So you guys can do whatever it is that you need to with any of these kind of things. You know, anything that you guys are normally used to, you'll still be able to do within your Sage 300 as well. I do have one other thing for those that are the IT company or the IT guys that wanted to see what it might look like to be able to access the server. For the admin access, we just have you go to our manage site and sign in there. Once you sign in, you will kind of get to the back end of your server here. You can see how many active users are available to log into the server, what your resource consumption. This is just kind of a little dashboard view here. If you wanted to, you could check user activity, who's logging in and out. You can see get a storage report as well. Again, we do monitor that storage for you. When you get close, we will let you know and how much it is to add additional storage. And then also, if you wanted to see if anybody is continually getting locked out of their account, you can see that as well. This will also give you an at-a-glance list of apps of who's available or what's installed on the server. We do also have folders set up here, and you can manage those. You can set up additional mapped folders. You can limit access to specific folders for specific groups of users as well. We can help walk you guys through that. But down here, last but not least, is your server. And in order for you to get the local admin access to your server that you might need, you just double click there and click connect. And it'll open up a new window. You got to make sure that you don't have pop-ups blocked, otherwise it won't open for you. But once you do that, you can get in here with local admin access. And do anything that you need here. You'll have access to all of the applications here. And be able to do whatever tasks it is that you need to do there as well. But that's it from my side. Nick, do we want to open it up for questions?
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Holly. And we're going to go through and have some time here for questions and answers. And all the attendees are in listen-only mode, but if you'll use the chat window to ask any questions, we're monitoring that and we'd be happy to get them answered. To make sure you're able to see the chat, if you hover over the slide that you're seeing now, on the bottom of your Zoom webinar screen, you should see a button to launch the chat. So there were a few that came in that I'll just go ahead and ask Holly, and then as more come in, I'll read them out. So one question was, I use other Sage applications such as HRMS or fixed assets. Can I load those or install those in the SWISNet environment?
Absolutely. We can work with Acumen to get that all set up and installed so that you guys can have that all of your Sage applications in one location on the cloud.
And even non-Sage, right, Holly? We've worked with
Yes.
some clients that had other industry-specific applications, such as insurance claims packages, or really anything else. We've been able to put up there and get that installed.
Definitely. I mean, it is basically the same as an on-prem server. It's just a virtual machine rather than a physical machine. So you can definitely add any applications on there and customize to whatever your needs are.
Okay. The next one was, does moving to a SWISNet cloud environment help Acumen serve me better? And I'll take that one, Holly. And I would say yes. Because of that kind of back-end environment that Holly just showed, we do have access to your servers all the time. We can, coordinate with you and install patches and updates, at night or evenings, or really from anywhere. So allowing us to really be able to connect when we need to help really can allow us to provide better services to you guys. Another one, how does a client who already has an on-premise benefit from a cloud system?
So if you have on-prem already, but you guys are looking to go mobile, to be able to allow mobile access from just about anywhere, and then also allow Acumen to be able to gain access to the cloud server rather than the on-prem server as well. So really, if you guys want to make sure, again, some of those benefits of the cloud versus on-prem, we do have a lot of people that move and just keep their on-prem server for maybe file storage or some of those kind of things. Just to really take advantage of the benefits of, number one, security, the uptime. I think, Nick, long time ago when we kind of first started, there was that one customer that was terrified of the hurricane, and we got them up and running in just a couple days, and even though their office wasn't destroyed by the hurricane, they were still able to gain access during the hurricane as long as they had the internet connection. And right after it too. So just
peace of mind, right?
Disaster recovery, yeah, peace of mind to make sure that it's always there. I mean, you guys are right there in Hurricane Alley all the time, and have to deal with that, and this just is one less thing that you guys would have to worry about. So.
And then one other thing I'd add to that, Holly, is proven disaster recovery and proven backups. The backups at SWISNet are done and tested and can be restored. And I've been doing this 20 years now, and unfortunately, I've had more than one story from clients where they've, thought they were taking backups, and they really weren't working, or they had the wrong, part of SQL backed up, just the logs and not the data, so the restore couldn't happen. And unfortunately, we've seen clients lose data quite a bit. So, the backups work. So you really, truly are protected if you move up to the SWISNet cloud. Okay, another question. We're Office 365 Business Premium, about 85 users. Confirm again, please, that would we in fact have to move to E3, and for what reason?
So only the users that need access to this Sage server, or those additional applications through the server, would need to be upgraded to either Pro Plus or E3. So you don't have to upgrade absolutely everybody to E3, just the ones that are going to need access to the SWISNet server. And there are additional benefits to the E3 plan. I can send a little brochure over to Nick, and he can forward it on to all you guys, so you can see the differences between the plans.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions out there? Okay, here's another one. How quick is the process if we wanted to switch from on-premise to SWISNet? That's a really good question. And Holly, go ahead and if you would talk about kind of spinning it up, and then we'll talk about the Sage bit.
Oh, definitely. So, and I was just thinking about that. I did forget to mention how long it does take to get set up. So once you guys place your order and we determine everything that it is that you're going to need, and we do place the order for the server, we can have the server or server deployment. Some people have more than one server required, set up and ready for to turn over to Acumen for the Sage installation within 24 to 48 hours. So, we can get everything spun up and ready and turned over to Acumen, work with them to get everything installed and configured, and then they can work with you guys to migrate your on-prem data as well.
And a lot of times we will coordinate a migration to SWISNet with a Sage upgrade, because we're going to reinstall software anyways in the new environment. It's a perfect place for doing that and testing the environment, making sure that the upgrade is working and any custom macros and forms and reports are all working. We've even had clients turn on SWISNet servers for kind of temporary periods of time to do testing for certain things. We had a client that wanted to do an upgrade and didn't have the server space in-house to kind of have a test platform or test environment. So we did that in SWISNet. We turned that on, spun it up, got everything installed. They did all their testing, and then we did the upgrade in the live production environment. So we've used that quite a few times actually for temporary computing power. Which is easier to deploy on user desktops, app services versus cloud workspace client? Are you seeing companies using one over the other?
It's really user preference. Each individual user has the ability to choose one or the other. So you may have half the people in one company using remote desktop app because that's the way they're comfortable, and then you have other people that are using the published app. So it really is just end user preference on what it is. I don't think that there's a benefit for one over the other. Again, it's just what you're comfortable with.
Okay, we'll just give one more minute here to see if anything else comes into the chat window. Okay, it looks like that's all the questions we have for this afternoon. If for any reason you didn't get a chance to ask, feel free to reach out to your account management team here at Acumen. And we set up an email group, AM for account management, at acumenfl.com. And if you shoot an email off to that address, we'd be happy to get back to you and answer any questions that you might have, or work up some pricing for you if it's something you might be interested in taking a look at. So I just want to say thank you very much for everyone's attendance this morning. We do value your time. Thanks, Holly, for a great presentation. And we did record this, so we'll be able to send it out to you, and then also send out any PowerPoint slides if you'd like them. Just shoot us an email. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks for having us. Have a great day.